Hello and welcome to PlaySanctum. This first lesson we're going to teach you how to make mana and cast spells. Alright, so we're in the game window right now, and we have a bunch of cards at the top. Top left is our mana, how much mana we make, and the main window here is everything of how to move the troops along and how to attack and fight. But again, our first lesson here is how to cast spells and how to make mana. Again, the goal of the game is Sanctum is my guys start at the bottom and my opponents are always going to start at the top. Our goal is to run guys into the Sanctum. And so we want to make mana this turn. How do I make mana, you say? Every turn I want to click on my Sanctum and I can make 1 mana every turn. And these are the 4 guys standing on top of the Sanctum, so that's why this looks a little confusing. But there's 2 guys hiding inside my Sanctum right now. Again, I'll click off it, and I'll click back on my Sanctum with the left mouse. So I have 2 guys hiding in my Sanctum. These guys actually produce mana. So I can drag one of the heads, and there's 2 little colored symbols at the bottom. I'm going to drag it on the moon, and I just made a mana. Now you'll notice this was a 4 previously, now it's a 5. Let's unclick and show you. So that was a 4. Drag it again, 5. You can only make 1 mana per turn. Alright, so mana is the way how we cast all our spells in the game. Now, these are the 5 cards that that are in my deck right now at the moment. Again, every deck of cards is customizable. You add the cards you want to add and what quantities you want of each card. But at all times, you will always see 5 cards in your hand, much like a game of poker. So this guy, for instance, costs 3 blue moons and 1 triangle to cast. That's a skeleton. This one costs 3 blue, this one costs 2 blue. Obviously you can see the icons, and this translates to how much mana. So for example, if I cast this guy, I already have enough mana. I have 3 blue moons and 1 triangle. I can drag him. He's a monster. I click and put him where I want him to appear on the board. Let's put him there. Oh, so I cast the spell, and I know that because now I don't have any mana left in my mana pool here. So I'm going to declick and cancel that. And so again, but what I want to do is I want to actually cast this Sand Sphinx. So right now I'm making 4 and 1. So I obviously don't need any more blue moons to cast him. I need an orange triangle. So again, I'm going to click on and drag on the orange triangle in my Sanctum. And now I have 4 and 2. So now I have enough to cast this guy. Anytime you have a spell, you can double click on it to read what it does. It's a long, lengthy, don't be discouraged here about the long description. They're actually really simple once you get a hang of them. But this is a monster. He's a tiny little guy, but he actually makes sand on the board, which is kind of cool. So again, I can double click on any of the cards and read what they do. Double click on that. But again, I want to cast this guy, and all spells you're gonna left click and drag them to the place that they want to be. Monsters are basically cast on the board. You pick which tile, which square you want to cast them. This is an individual spell, so this spell, for instance, removes any spells I have cast on a guy. So I could get rid of this guy is in my Sanctum has a spell on him. You can see from the highlighted icon on the minion. That would be where I would cast on that guy. So again, and some spells are required on the globe, where they say cast on globe. This is the globe. Some say cast on spell. Some are group spell. I cast on the whole group. So you just have to learn where I drag and click into the particular area. But again, monsters, I just click them and I want to put them on any square on the board. So I'm actually going to put them on this mountain. And watch what happens when I put them on this mountain. Alright. Little icon shows that I put them on the mountain. And so let's confirm our orders and see what happens once I cast a minion on that mountain. Alright. Oops. Yeah, no, this guy has actually turned the mountain into a piece of sand, and now my little sand monster's walking around. Alright, next turn happened, you'll notice that my sand monster's no longer in my hand of cards, and now I got a venom blade. So, um, again, this lesson's all about learning how to cast spells, so, let's try to cast let's cast a little individual, let's cast a venom blade. Now, now this venom blade gives my minions +2 hand damage. Cast on swordsman gives 2 +2 hand damage. I can't cast it on my monster because he's not a swordsman. I can see here he's a 2/1. So I'm gonna click back on my sanctum where I have 4 guys standing on them, and let's drag on. I want to make this guy a swordsman. I want to make him a 4/1. All right, and let's confirm orders. Make him a 4/1. And there you go. See, now he's a 4/1. He got +2 attack damage. So this pretty much is simple. I think that the 3 main things that you're going to learn how to click are drag a spell on the board, drag a spell on a bunch of guys, and they're group spells that and globe spells that those would be dragged on the globe. So that concludes. I hope now we understand at least how to make mana, and that concludes this lesson. Thanks very much. This is Mongolian.